Hello again. Good morning. We're back again on creative 3D printing for seniors. Today I'm going to take a project that I have been trying to figure out what to do with it for the last 20 years. We moved in here in 2002, and at that time there was a shower handle in our guest bathroom to help you get in and out of the bathtub, in and out of the shower. And one of the ends had come broken loose, and we weren't able to determine where the part had come from, so we were never able to fix it. Since I've gotten into 3D printing, and I've also become acquainted with a program called Fusion 360, I was able to then take one look at this, and once I got all the parts apart, I was able to take the various parts and I'll show you as we go along here those parts as they came off from the handle, and then take it and design it in Fusion 360, and I will begin to show you today just how we were able to do that. I was able to take it apart the other day. I found that one end of it, which happens to have a piece, as you can see here, that happens to have a piece surrounding a threaded area, is perfectly fine. So that's my finished model. I then had the opposite end of it, which looked like the other one, only it did not have the sleeve on it, and it had broken off. As you can see, I'm not so sure if you can see it very clearly or not, but this part has threads to it. It had been attempted to be fixed before, and we weren't able to determine where the part came from, so consequently we did not have the ability to buy a new part. I then decided to use Fusion 360 to develop a part, and in the process of developing it I came up with a basic part. As you can see, this particular part was sort of my sample part to go on the basis of how to put it all together, but also, if you can see, it didn't have any threads on it. I ultimately was able to determine one with threads on it, and while it's fairly rough, and I have not had an opportunity to clean it up, my final product looks something like that. And if you look very carefully, you can see that it has threads. Now I still have some things that I could clean up on it. However, since it's all going to be hidden, as long as it works, that's the key for wanting to make sure that this is working properly. So as I explained earlier, today we are going to be using Fusion 360 in order to develop a part for a handle that I have for my shower. I am now loading Fusion 360 into the program, and I am loading because I've already used up all 10 of my Fusion models that I can make, I have to go in and do one that I've used before in order to talk about doing what I need to do today. And so consequently I'm going to be creating something from an already used one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and show you how this works. We're going to make initially a sketch, and without going into too much detail in terms of what we're doing here today in terms of learning how to use Fusion, I just want to get started showing you what I need to do. So the very first thing we need to do is to measure the part that we have a part right here. I'm going to measure it with my micrometer. It says that it's 47.8 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is make a circle. So I'm going to create actually I'm going to create a cylinder. And I'm going to create one that is, and you'll see here that it shows 34 in blue. I need 47.7, 47.7, and hit the enter button, and there is my outside diameter. I'm going to then highlight it, and I'm going to extrude it. I'm going to hit the E, and I'm going to extrude it, let's say 5, depth of 5 millimeters. So when we look at it, we now have, and if we look again at our piece that we have, if you look at the sideways, we're probably a little thicker than the other one. So if I can, I'm going to go back and try and make that, instead of 5, I'll make it 4. So what I'm going to do is just undo it, and undo it again. Hit 4 instead of, and so there is my disc. Now from there, we need to check out what the distance is. As you can see, I have this little, as I can point to it, this little spot right here, which is a hole. And if we look at the diameter of that, we can see that it's 20.7. So we're going to want to put a hole someplace, and if we were to take the distance from the outside edge, it shows 8.9. So we want to have it 8.9 from here to here. We know that this is 47, so at the halfway point, we know that we are, and I'm just going to do this without a great deal of sophistication today. I'm just going to create another cylinder. I'm going to place it someplace where I think it's going to be close to where I want it. I'm going to then place my center on it, and then going to go 8.9. And that's 5, so I want it 8. That's the depth. So the diameter is 8.9, and the depth is 4. Okay, so at this particular point we have built a basic model that we needed to do. The very last thing that we have to do in order for this to work for us is to create threads. Since we have threads on ours, we have to go over here to modeled. We want to use a CNC metric, and I'm going to take me out for a minute here and press OK, and we have a finished model. As you can see, as we show various aspects of it. It looks very similar to the one that we have here. Very similar to this one here with the pieces missing. And it's ready to print. So, thank you very much for coming today, for having an opportunity to see how Fusion 360 works, and happy 3D printing. And please, seniors, don't get bored. Thank you again. Have a good day.